This is the Gucci Sheer Voile in the shade Goldie Red. It's the only red that I don't feel completely weird wearing. Hey everybody, it's Ted, the Buffalo Beauty Boy, and I am in really good spirits right now. I just got back from a good friend of mine's birthday, so I figured, I put on a silly little outfit and this was as good a time as any to film. I am going to be doing my empties video, and I'm going to share the things that I've used up and decluttered in the month of February, as well as my purchases for the month of February. So I am doing this more. Sophia is chirping. So I'm doing this kind of as like a, to keep track for myself, but also I just kind of love these videos. But I would have liked to have posted this about a week ago. However, my heart has been really heavy with the conflict going on in Ukraine, with the vicious attacks on LGBTQ youth happening in Texas and Florida. It's just been really, really heavy. So it felt kind of weird to talk about, a face wash that I used up. But I also, started this channel because I remember at the height of the pandemic when I was, feeling really isolated and really trapped, that watching exactly this helped me a lot. So I do preface this video with I understand if consuming beauty content feels weird. It feels weird to be making it. But I also know the tremendous healing power that this little, microsphere has for some people. So I would like to be a part of that. But please know, at the root of all of this, that my heart is really aching for the people going through so much right now. I'm going to kind of follow the same format that I did with my last video, where I'm going to share my empties, and then I'm going to share my purchases for this month, as well as my total spending on beauty this month. I don't have a stringent budget that I feel like sharing. I don't have a certain dollar amount that I'm keeping track of, but I know where I would like to be. And I also will say I do this, I create content that is beauty related. So my beauty spending is not at all indicative of what somebody should be spending. I don't think that's a, thing. Everybody's different. Everybody's budgets are different. Everybody allocates money where they feel, is necessary. This is something that makes me feel really good, and I am so tremendously blessed that I can allocate my money the way that I do. But this is not at all something that anybody needs to compare. It's not something that you need to look at your collection and think I should, amplify that. And I have to remind myself of that. I see people who, get this palette or get this blush or this, skincare product or this hair product. And I'm like, oh, I should get that. I should try it. And what I've learned is really to stop comparing and start using the things that make me happy. And I actually think that I'm going to do a part 2 to this, because I had a pretty interesting experience when I was shopping, but I'm going to share that when I get to sharing what I purchased. But before that, let's jump into some empties. So one that's not super duper fun, but is, I feel worth mentioning, is this Grove Collective Hydrating Hand Soap. This is the lavender one. I actually prefer the lemon one, but I've been using these. I switched from the Mrs. Meyer's hand soap a little while ago because these are plastic free. So I've just been really enjoying that. But this is just my hand soap. Keep it in the bathroom. I fill my pump. And it's fine. It's nice. It works. It's good. It's plastic free. I'm happy to use it. One that's like a little bit boring is my biodegradable EcoTools beauty sponge. So these, I'm not a huge like beauty sponge user, but when I am using a sponge, I use the biodegradable EcoTools one simply because it's biodegradable. I go through them. I probably don't get rid of them as quickly as I should. I'll say that. So, but I'm getting rid of this one. It would not be a Buffalo Beauty Boy empty without mentioning a Dr. Teal's Epsom Salt. This is the Rosemary Mint Wellness Therapy one. This one was not my favorite. It was fine. It worked. It was nice and minty and aromatic, but we all know the hemp seed oil cannabis sativa one is my favorite. So I do have a fragrance empty. Granted, it's a roller ball. It's not a roller ball, it's like the mini spray. But this is the Maison Margiela Replica Bubble Bath. I used it up. This was very light and very like easy. I could wear this to work. You know, it just smelled like pleasing and clean, but not in like a chemical way. Most clean like house scents, like something that's in like the family of a clean scent, they smell very chemically on me, where this didn't. This really just smelled like soap and clean skin. It was really nice. But I have a couple that are like similar enough that I don't feel like I need to like purchase a big one or get another mini to have in my collection, because there's definitely other ones that I feel like do kind of the same thing that I like a little bit more. And this is not a scent profile that I really typically gravitate towards. So it was fine. I was happy to use it, but I'm not like super gutted that it's gone. I finished up the fulvic acid brightening cleanser from the Inky list. This was fine. It was nice. It did the job. It says that it helps brighten skin and gently remove makeup. I don't know that it particularly brightened my skin, and I didn't use it to try to remove makeup. This was a really great morning cleanser. I don't think it did wonders for like keeping my skin like bright, but I also don't really rely on a cleanser for that. I rely on actives. So this was fine. If you're looking for something in this wheelhouse, this was a great option. I think the Inky list does cleansers really well because they're a really great size and they're affordable. So piggybacking off of the Inky list, I used up their Niacinamide Serum, and I think in my last one I had the hyaluronic acid one. I have another hyaluronic acid one, and I might have another niacinamide one, but I'm not sure. They sent me some PR a while ago, but I feel pretty neutral on the hyaluronic acid, but this was a treat. I really loved this. I felt like it was really hydrating and cushiony. And I know that niacinamide is supposed to help control excess oil. I don't feel like I have particularly oily skin, but I also know that it's really great for helping sensitized skin and helping to build like skin's sensitivity protection up. So because I use both acids and retinols, I feel like I enjoy having a niacinamide element in my skincare, and this was really wonderful. The only downfall was the dispensing. Like, it just got really goopy, and like you can see there's like little, you know, residue. So I did have to like clean it pretty regularly, but I don't feel like it wasted a ton of product or anything like that. And for the price point, I feel like you can't really be mad that the packaging isn't like elegant. Do you know what I mean? So this might make a reappearance at some point in my skincare routine. But I felt like it was really nourishing, and it really like added a good cushion of hydration to the skin, I felt. Speaking of my like actives and retinols, I used up the Rose Ingleton MD retinol booster, retexturizing booster. This is it was like a milky retinol serum. And I was sent this from Octoly. They actually sent me 2 of them. So I have a whole nother one, but I really enjoyed this. I was really well acquainted with the Jordan Samuel retinol oil, and this was my first like adventure in like a proper retinol serum. So I used this up and I was really happy to use it. I had it going for maybe like 3 or 4 months, I'll say, because I only use retinol 2 or 3 times a week. I didn't notice any like sensitivity or any peeling or anything really like aggressive with this one. It actually felt really like hydrating and nourishing while also adding that retinol kind of glow. But I did notice that towards the end, it did start to smell a little bit different. I only had a little bit left, so I did continue to use it and I didn't notice any adverse effects. But I think had I had more of it left, I probably wouldn't have continued using it. So I guess just something to bear in mind. And I think that's just the nature of these like twist top dropper mechanisms. I think this might be like a Clean It Sephora brand. I'm not entirely sure. But it was a wonderful product. And especially if retinol is something that you use 4 or 5 times a week or something that you use more regularly than I do, I don't think you would have the same issue of like the scent going off as I did. I have 2 more skincare products and then 2 hair products. So we're like really cranking through this. I used up my Acure Radically Rejuvenating Whipped Night Cream. This is a multi-peptide ferulic acid and vitamin C night cream. I actually don't use this as a night cream. I used this a lot during the day, underneath my sunscreen. But this is a pretty great product. It has really wonderful ingredients in it, and it's pretty affordable. I think this is maybe like $16 and you get 1.7 fluid ounces. The reason I picked this up, I've been through maybe 2 or 3 of these in the past like couple years, is because this is a ingredient deck dupe for Drunk Elephant Polypeptide Proteiny Cream. I haven't used that one, but I heard a lot of people like raving about it, and then I found out that this was a dupe for it from Penn Smith Skin. I think I will try to link her below, but she is, I believe, an esthetician, and she does really, I know that she's like a skincare professional, and she does really great dupe videos where she goes through ingredient decks and talks about the ingredients and like their proportion of ingredients and the way that they're in the formula that make it a dupe. So I figured, I was thinking about this, super expensive cream, and then I found a dupe that was $16. Why not try it? This is a really thick, kind of heavy cream that sits on the skin in a way that's like almost mattifying, if that makes sense. Like it's very dense. And I feel like it has like kind of an occlusive factor to it where it really like sits on the skin so those ingredients can really like marinate on your face. All of that is to surmise that I don't think this is super cosmetically elegant. I feel like it does pretty good things for my skin, but it's not necessarily my favorite like texture to apply, if that makes sense. But for $16, I don't think you can really beat that. So I have a few that I'm working through right now. But when I'm, out of things and just looking for something that has, vitamin C, proteins, acids, things that are really good for my skin, I'll probably pick this up because, again, it's just so affordable. The last skincare product that I have is the Glossier Soothing Face Mist. I have been through maybe 3 of these, and what's really funny is I have never purchased one. I've been given the Glossier Face Mist multiple times by like friends. Every time I use it, I love it. It's a wonderful product. I feel like because it's rose water with honeysuckle, and the ingredient deck is like pretty extensive, but the spray, the actual like mechanism is beautiful. It's probably my favorite like application of a face spray. And I really just love rose water. I think it smells nice. It, works well. I use this as kind of like a in between skincare steps when I'm really being extra, or I'll use it underneath an active just to kind of put like a soothing barrier before my serum or before anything. So, you know, it's Glossier. She's a staple. She's been around the block. We know her. But this is a pretty good one, and just the spray is really phenomenal. The first hair care product that I used up is it's a hair care product, but it's also like a treatment product. It is the Surface Awaken Therapeutic Treatment. It's a scalp treatment for thinning hair or hair loss, anything kind of in that world. I don't have like hair loss or thinning hair, but we use Surface at my salon, and they're just a really wonderful botanical brand. And I do use something on my scalp every time I wash just to keep my scalp really healthy and balanced. And I've had this for a little while. It was kicking around, so I just wanted to use up the last little bit, and I bought this when I had COVID. So I had COVID the March of 2020, and I was reading that, you know, hair loss was really something that was affecting people that, you know, were recovering from COVID. So I figured it can't hurt to do like a little preventative measure. I did have a little bit of shedding, but not like a ridiculous amount. And now I think my hair is pretty like stabilized and even. Anything that did fall out has grown back. I used this for maybe like 3 months, like, you know, pretty religiously. And then I found the Calton King tonic, and I've been using that ever since. And that's my favorite like scalp product. But anybody that is dealing with density issues or hair loss, I do recommend the Surface Awaken line too, because it's so botanically based. And I can, I guess, talk about that like in another video, but yeah, Surface is just a great brand, and I was happy to give this a try and use it up. So, and the final product that I used up was the Caristas Blonde Absolute Mask. This was gorgeous. I loved it. It was a really great like purple conditioner. You can kind of see that little bit. So it was like a blonde toning conditioner. Spoiler, I used up the shampoo like recently, so that's going to be in my next empties video next month. But this was great. It was pretty pricey, but I got this over the holidays in like a Sephora sale. I used it, my boyfriend used it because he's got highlights, and we both really enjoyed it. So I don't know if I'll pick it up again, just because it is kind of pricey and I can't get my professional discount on it that I know of. But I was really happy to use it, and it made my hair feel really nice. It's that like light purple color. And I never feel like those do like a ton for keeping my blonde super bright. I find like using something that's really like a thick purple blue mud, like a blue shampoo, you know, something like that helps a little bit more than something like this that's maybe more for like everyday use. But anything that is kind of like this is going to have those ingredients that keep blonde hair feeling its best. So yeah, this was great. I was really happy to use it. My hair really liked it. My boyfriend really liked it. And he's kind of my metric for products. Like, I'm such a product junkie that I'm like, am I, you know, using this for hype, or do I really like it? And I'm good about kind of editing that when I'm, you know, on video. But in my own devices, I'm like, oh, this is amazing. And then I think about it and I'm like, but you have other stuff that's so much better. So when he really likes a product, I know that it's like a really good product, and we both enjoyed both this and the shampoo. So onto the second part of, onto the second portion of this video is where I share the things that I purchased as well as my budget, or not budget, but how much I spent this month on beauty. So, this month was kind of a tough month. Like later on in the month, you know, lots of things like globally happened, and that really affected me, and I definitely felt myself reverting to kind of those old habits where I would overshop. I've never managed to like, you know, run up a credit card bill, or, you know, not, you know, pay my car bill or something like that because I was spending it at Sephora. But I definitely have use shopping for beauty as a, like, you know, distraction from tough things. So February just kind of, you know, came on like a freight train, and I really like, you know, I was just feeling a lot of feelings. I had a very emotional month, you know, just interpersonally. You know, it's just, I think we're all still processing the last couple years, and it comes and goes. Healing is not linear. And I definitely felt like this month was a little bit heavier. So I definitely reverted to those kind of shopping behaviors because of that. But I will say I'm feeling much better now. And I, coupled with that, you know, wanting to shop and spend and consume beauty, two brands that I really, really love and support. And I love and support them because as a small creator that is like, I'm, you know, a smaller content creator who is kind of alternative, brands that support me mean a lot. And these brands have really kind of supported me on Instagram and my channel for, you know, really since I started. So they had launches this month that I really wanted to support. And those two brands are Stark Skincare and Phytosurgence. I've used their products, I've talked about them, and I absolutely adore them. Both of them, actually, coincidentally, are small brands from Canada. I'm not Canadian, but I just really, I love them. They're small, they're incredible. So when they were launching, I knew that I purposely was like, I'm going to support these launches because I love these brands, and the launches really excited me. So I did that, and then I went shopping, I think twice or 2 or 3 times. I made like 3 other purchases besides that. So this month total, I spent $304, which is a lot. However, last month I spent like a lot under that. So between the two, I feel like if I spread this out over 2 months, it's not too bad. I don't feel like I, you know, really like went wild and was like, you know, seeing stars and just, you know, grabbing beauty. But I do feel that it's a little bit. So in no stringent ways, I'm on a no buy for March. I can always do like a month or 2 of a no buy, and I think it's good to do that to reset, but I'm just trying to it's not even necessarily like a money thing. It's more just like the reframing of my mind. So I'm trying for March to not make any beauty purchases. So I don't know what this portion of next month's video will look like. But I think it'll be interesting, and I'm just kind of doing it as a reset. The one that I think is probably like the least like exciting because I can't like really show it on camera or whatnot. I went to Lush for the first time in like 2.5 years since the pandemic. I got 3 bath bombs. I got 2 of the Experimenter, which is this like gorgeous, like spherical whatnot. And it's my favorite smell in the world. Maybe not in the world, but I feel like if you know what this smells like, it's so good. I feel like it smells like what Stevie Nicks smells like. So I got 2 of those, and then I got one of this like black rose. I don't know what it's called, but it smells rosy, of course. And I'm really excited. I think this is gonna make my water like jet black, and I'm excited for that. I'm not excited to clean that, but I think it'll be fine. So I got 3 bath bombs, and how I said I had kind of an interesting shopping experience. It was actually at Lush, and it has nothing to do with like the store or the salespeople. It was a very interpersonal moment that I want to touch on in another video, but I don't really shop at Lush a whole lot anymore because I feel like it's just really expensive for what it is. And, you know, I found these beautiful Dr. Teal's bath salts. Spending that much money on a bath doesn't really proportionately work out. So I have 3 bath bombs, and I'm sure I will have them for a really long while because to me that's a really special treat. But I'll get into that in another video. The products that I purchased from Stark Skincare are their Skyline Bath and Body Oil. It's a body oil in like a spray mechanism. I've only used it once or twice. so I can't really give like a full review, but it's nice and sandalwoody. It smells really good. I'm enjoying that. I picked up their Mud Puppy Solid Cleansing Balm. I have not used this, but I'm really excited. I love a cleansing balm. I love a solid cleanser, so we'll see how that goes. And it comes in this cute little tin, and it's like a bar. Like it almost kind of feels like bar soap, but I don't think there's any like actual soap in it. So I'm excited to play with this. And then the really big like launch was Stark's first hair care product, and it's called Helios. It is Helios Scalp Cleanser, and it's like a cleansing cream, cleansing conditioner. I've used this a handful of times, and I'm really, really, really enjoying it. So Jess sometimes watches my videos, and if she is, I hope she sees this and how much I love it. I already can tell that I want it in a bigger size. So I've used it maybe like 5 or 6 times, and I really am loving it and enjoying it. I made a purchase from Phytosurgeons because they launched their Weathered Woods collection. It's their eyeshadows, and they are stunning. So I purchased the shade Magnetic Maple and the shade Oxidized Olive. And I've worn both of these like once or twice, and they're beautiful. I'm so excited. I love Phytosurgeons. They're just such a wonderful company, LGBTQ owned. I can't speak highly enough of them. They're incredible. And Jason and Tom are so kind. They are just such amazing, wonderful people. So I knew that I had to support them. And then I also picked up the shade Singe in their Skin Spark blush formula. The third purchase that I made, I went to Sephora and I picked up the Paula's Choice 2% BHA liquid exfoliant. They had a mini kind of at like the checkout, and I've always wanted to try this, so I figure, you know, a mini is a great one. I've never used anything from Paula's Choice, so I'm excited to give this a go because I love a chemical exfoliant. I picked up the JVN Nurture Deep Moisture Mask, and I used it once, and my hair really enjoyed it. It comes in this gorgeous purple tin tube, so like low plastic usage, and I feel like this has a really like conditioner like feel. It doesn't feel like a super thick, heavy, deep like moisture mask. It feels really like very slippy. You don't need a whole lot of it, so I'm excited to incorporate this into my routine. I used it once and my hair really enjoyed it. It also had great slip, so I could detangle very easily with very little of this. So the last product I picked up from Sephora was this Gucci Bloom Mini, and it is the Nectar de Fiori. I've worn it a bunch of times since I got it, but it's this gorgeous like frosted pink glass, and it's just the mini, and it says Eau de Parfum Intense, so I think this is like Gucci Bloom Intense, like it's the more like robust version of Bloom, but it has a very like, the base of it is like a white flower. I actually think the flower is Rangoon Creeper is what it's called, but it's a like beautiful white floral that's not super powdery, and then this has a very like nectary honey kind of like dry down. It's very nice. I don't think it's like pretty, and I don't think it's mature, but it's certainly not like a powdery white floral. It's a very like syrupy, not syrupy, but it's really nice. I'm loving this, but I think it might be discontinued. But I know you can still get it at Sephora, but not on like the Gucci website. I don't know what that's about. So that was the last thing I purchased from Sephora. I also I made one purchase from Ulta, so I guess it was 4 purchases. One of them is missing. It's the Wet n Wild Glass Skin Primer, and I'm wearing that right now and I really like it. It's like lost in my makeup bag. And I picked up the e.l.f. Big Mood mascara, and I'm wearing it right now. I've been wearing it for maybe like 5 or 6 hours, so it is like just a little bit smudgy, but it really holds up nicely. It doesn't smudge too much, and I feel like it gives a similar performance as Lancome Monsieur Big, but this is the color Deep Brown, and you know I love a brown mascara, so I'm still kind of learning this. I'm still playing with it, but I'm really enjoying it thus far. And the last thing that I picked up was the Fur Bath Drops. I took 1 bath with these. I used 2 of them, and next time I think I'm gonna use 3, because it says to use 2 to 3 per bath. My skin felt really moisturized and hydrated. These were just super fun to use, and they were on sale. I think it was 50% off, so definitely a luxury splurge even at the 50% off price, but my skin felt noticeably nicer getting out. So I don't think these are like going to be a regular thing, but I'm happy to have them and use them. All right, so that was my February beauty roundup situation. I used up or decluttered 11 items, and definitely not as many as January, but that's okay. It's not, it's not a race. It's not a competition. I'm just using things that make me feel nice. Like I said, I spent a little bit more than I typically do on beauty, but that's also okay. It's fine. And I picked up some things that I'm really excited to use and really happy to have in my collection. So yeah, that's my beauty roundup. And I'm gonna do a part 2 of this. It'll be coming out in the next week or so, but I just kind of want to share some feelings that I've been having. I think maybe I'll put on a face mask and we'll just share feelings or something. I think that could be kind of a fun little video. But yeah, I'm sorry that it took me so long to actually get the camera recording and talk about these things, but I think given the state of what's going on in the world, we can all agree that we all just need a little reprieve. And it's understanding that the last thing on most people's minds is, talking about bath salts and mascara. As always, I want to say thank you so much for coming to hang out. Thank you for watching my videos. It means the world to me. If you are not already, make sure that you subscribe and feel free to give this video a thumbs up. I really appreciate it. And let me know what products you used up this month in the comments. As always, I hope that you're taking care of yourselves. I hope that you're showing yourself the same love and kindness and warmth that you show everybody else. And as always, I hope you know that you're made of gold. Until next time.